Have you ever wondered how some people can drop $800 on sushi without blinking, while their bank accounts keep exploding like they've hacked the system? It's not magic. It's not luck. It's a different game altogether. A hidden set of rules, whispered behind velvet ropes and private jets, that almost no one talks about. These people aren't flexing on social media. They're not flashing it around. In fact, they stay quiet, on purpose. Because the truth is, the wealthiest among us follow a secret financial playbook, one that's rarely shared and only hinted at after a few too many martinis in exclusive, members-only rooms. But today, for the first time, I'm exposing it. 12 powerful wealth moves the rich use behind closed doors to multiply their fortunes and secure generational dominance. These aren't tips you'll hear in school or from your broke uncle. These are real strategies the upper class lives by, but hopes you never find out. If you've ever felt like money works differently for them, you're absolutely right. But after this video, you'll finally understand why. Let's pull back the curtain. Let's dive in. Number 12. Debt isn't the enemy. It's a tool if you know how to use it. You've probably been told your whole life to stay away from debt, that it's dangerous, risky, even destructive. And for most people, that's true. But for the wealthy, debt can actually be one of their most powerful tools to build wealth. Now, let's be clear, we're not talking about the kind of debt that keeps you up at night, worrying about credit card bills with sky-high interest rates. What the rich use is strategic debt, low-interest loans they leverage to buy assets that generate income. Picture this. A smart investor takes out a loan at just 3% interest, then uses that money to buy a rental property in an up-and-coming neighborhood. That property could bring in returns of 8 to 10% annually when you factor in rent, appreciation, and maybe a few upgrades. So, they're borrowing cheap money to earn higher value returns, and the difference between those numbers is pure profit. But here's the catch. They don't go around bragging about how much money they've borrowed. You won't hear them say, "I took out $1 million loan." Instead, they'll casually mention how many properties they own or how well their investments are doing. They focus on the results, not the strategy behind it. The truth is, debt can destroy your finances if you don't know how to use it. But the wealthy treat debt like a tool, not a trap. They know how to flip a liability into an opportunity, using the spread between what they pay and what they earn to quietly grow their wealth, year after year. Number 11. Relationships are assets. Networking is non-negotiable. Let's take a moment to talk about your circle, the people you surround yourself with. Because your network? It's not just a bunch of names in your contacts list. It's your gateway to opportunities you might not even realize exist. That whole image of the self-made millionaire who did it all alone, that's mostly a myth. The truth is, the wealthy are intentional about who they keep close. They don't just stick with people who think like them. They seek out those who challenge them, push them, and expand their perspective. They spend time in places most people overlook. Private clubs, elite associations, closed-door masterminds. Not for the flex, but because those rooms are where the real conversations happen, where partnerships are formed, insights are shared, and deals begin long before any contract is signed. Sure, they'll tell you their success came from hard work and good timing. And while that's partly true, what they often leave out is how crucial their network was in making those moments possible. They rarely make the connection out loud, but behind every leap in wealth, every career shift, every big win, there's a person, an introduction, a quiet recommendation that set the whole thing in motion. In their world, one strategic connection can be worth more than a six-figure investment. Because when you're moving in the right circles, every handshake has the potential to unlock your next big opportunity. Number 10. They don't wing it. They hire experts and actually listen. Here's something most people don't realize. The wealthy aren't trying to do it all on their own. They don't pretend to have all the answers. They build a team of experts to guide them. Financial advisors, tax strategists, attorneys, consultants. Each one plays a specific role in protecting and growing their wealth. But here's the real twist. They don't just pay for advice. They use it. They act on it. No second guessing. No, I'll figure it out myself. They trust professionals because they understand that expert advice isn't an expense, it's an investment. Now, compare that to the average person. They'll grab a book on investing, skim a few chapters, ignore half of it, and then wonder why nothing's changing. The difference isn't just access to information, it's what you do with it. The wealthy are willing to spend tens of thousands a year on advice because they know it can save them hundreds of thousands or make them even more. And if you're not there yet financially, that's okay. Start where you are. Find a mentor. Connect with someone just a few steps ahead of you. That one relationship might shave years off your learning curve and put you on a path you didn't even know existed. Number 9. Taxes aren't a nuisance. They're a strategic game. Most people see tax season as something to survive, but for the wealthy, it's a year-round game, and they play it like pros. They don't wait until April to think about taxes. They design their entire financial lives around tax efficiency. From forming LLCs and S-corp to setting up trusts, every move is intentional. They know the code, they know the rules, and they use them. Think 1031 exchanges, tax-deferred retirement accounts, bonus depreciation. These aren't loopholes. They're legal strategies, written right into the system for those who know where to look. So why don't the rich talk about this stuff? Simple, taxes bore most people. And let's be honest, if everyone started using these strategies, the benefits might not be as sweet anymore. But here's the truth. You don't need to be ultra-rich to take advantage. Learn just a little of what they know, and you'll start keeping a whole lot more of your money, year after year. Number 8. Real estate is their playground, not just a place to live. Rich people don't just buy homes, they build real estate empires. They understand that real estate is more than just a place to live. It's one of the safest and most powerful ways to grow wealth. While the average person might buy one home and live in it for decades, the wealthy take a different approach. They invest in different types of properties like apartment buildings to collect rent from multiple tenants every month, office spaces and warehouses, which businesses pay high rent to use, parking lots or land. Simple investments that can bring steady income and go up in value. These investments bring in monthly cash flow, meaning they get paid regularly, not just when they sell a property. And over time, these properties increase in value, especially in growing cities. But here's the part most people don't realize. Real estate also comes with tax advantages. The government actually gives tax breaks to people who invest in property because it helps the economy. Rich investors use things like depreciation, 1031 exchanges, and mortgage interest deductions to reduce how much tax they pay, legally. And they don't get emotionally attached to their investments. They don't say, "I love this house." They say, "Will this property make me money?" If it doesn't, they walk away. So, while most people are thinking about how to afford their dream home, wealthy people are asking, how can this property create long-term income and tax savings? That mindset is what separates real estate buyers from real estate investors. Number 7. They build moats. Asset protection is priority 1. What's the point of building wealth if it can vanish overnight? That's a question the wealthy take very seriously. You see, rich people don't just focus on making money, they focus on protecting it. Because one lawsuit, one accident, or one bad business deal can wipe out everything, unless you're prepared. That's why they build a safety net most people don't even think about. They use tools like insurance policies for everything, from homes and businesses to lawsuits, and even reputations. Legal entities like LLCs and corporations to separate their personal wealth from their business risks. Trusts to protect assets from taxes, creditors, or messy legal battles. Each layer acts like a shield, quietly defending their wealth behind the scenes. If one investment fails, it doesn't touch the rest. That's because their money is compartmentalized, strategically divided, so one crack doesn't sink the whole ship. The average person might just have car and home insurance. But the wealthy? They've got an entire invisible fortress protecting what they've built. And here's the key. Asset protection doesn't look impressive from the outside, but it's one of the smartest things you can do to stay rich once you get there. Number 6. Exclusive access, private equity, and hedge funds. While most people are busy scrolling through stock apps, trying to pick the next winning stock, the wealthy are playing a very different game, one most people don't even realize exists. They invest in private markets, exclusive arenas like hedge funds, venture capital, and private equity. These aren't the kind of investments you can access with a few taps on your phone. They require massive capital, insider connections, and a seat at tables most people don't even know are there. And here's where the gap really widens. These private investments often deliver returns that far exceed what traditional markets offer. We're talking about early-stage ownership in companies before they go public, strategic buy-ins to businesses that never touch the stock exchange, and access to deals negotiated behind closed doors. It's not just about having money. It's about being in the right circles and knowing the right people. While the average investor hopes for 7 to 10% annual returns, the wealthy might multiply their money several times over through just one private deal. This isn't gambling. It's a high-stakes, high-reward strategy that gives them an enormous advantage. And it's one of the key reasons why the rich continue to grow their wealth much faster than everyone else. Number 5. Business ownership is the real power move. Ask any ultra-wealthy person where their real money comes from. It's rarely a salary. It's ownership. They start companies, buy into businesses, or acquire equity stakes in startups. Why? Because businesses scale. They generate recurring revenue, often without trading time for money, and they can be sold for massive multiples. Even if the business isn't profitable at first, they understand the long game. Build value, build systems, then exit. Or better, let others run it while they collect dividends. They don't just work for money. They build machines that print money. And here's what they won't say out loud. You don't have to invent the next iPhone. Sometimes, buying into a boring, stable business, like plumbing or logistics, is the smartest wealth move in the room. Number 4. They never let a dollar sit idle. Every dollar a rich person holds is doing something. It's either earning interest, building equity, generating rent, or funding growth. They don't let cash gather dust in a savings account unless it's earmarked for an opportunity. Idle money is a wasted resource in their eyes. They deploy capital like generals in a war room, strategically and with purpose. Even their emergency funds are often in high-yield or liquid investments. Nothing sits still. Number 3. Multiple streams or bust. Relying on one source of income? That's a liability. Wealthy individuals build layers of income streams. Businesses, real estate, royalties, dividends, investments. They diversify not just for growth, but for survival. So if one income stream dries up, 3 others keep flowing. This is how they create true financial security, not by saving more, but by earning smarter. And again, it's quiet. You won't hear them boast about all these streams, but you'll see it in the way they move. Calm, unbothered, unfazed by layoffs or market dips. Number 2. Time is their most guarded asset. Rich people aren't obsessed with money. They're obsessed with buying back time. They outsource what they can, delegate where possible, and ruthlessly guard their calendars. They know their attention is finite, and they treat it like gold. This is why they'll happily spend thousands a year on assistants, automation, or even grocery delivery. Every minute saved is a minute they can reinvest into high-value activities, like thinking, building, or connecting. Poor people trade time for money. The wealthy trade money to reclaim time, and that's how they stay ahead. Number 1. Wealth is quiet. The real flex is control. Let's wrap this up with a truth that doesn't get enough airtime. Real wealth isn't loud. It doesn't drive the flashiest car or wear the most obvious watch. It's subtle. It's silent. It's the ability to say no, to choose how your day looks, to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. Rich people don't need to prove they're rich. They live on their own terms, often far from the spotlight. Because the ultimate goal was never to impress anyone, it was always freedom. That's all about the quiet financial strategies the wealthy use to grow and protect their wealth, without ever needing to show it off. These aren't just tips, they're mindset shifts. And once you start applying even 1 or 2, you'll begin to see money and opportunity in a whole new light. You don't need to be rich to start thinking like the rich. You just need the right knowledge, the right moves, and the patience to play the long game. If this video gave you something to think about, make sure to like, drop a comment sharing your favorite takeaway, and of course, subscribe so you don't miss out on more content that could change the way you see money forever. Let's keep building quiet wealth together.